Hey, Twin Cities, it's Glam Life Kim, and you are now tuned in to Minneapolis 360. And I have a very special guest in the building with me today. My favoriteest person in the whole, well, one of the my favoriteest person in the whole Minnesota. He has today off, so wishing him lots of fun and sunshine, whatever he is doing today. But welcome in the building, Zainab Meyer. How are you today, sweetheart?
I'm wonderful. I thought you were calling me your favoriteest person. I was
You
like,
are.
I think he's going to be jealous.
He is going to be so jealous. So I can say you my second.
I'll take that.
No, I think he's okay with sharing. You both can be my favoriteest.
That's great.
So how's it going today? We got some great information that we want to share with the community.
Yes, it's going great. I'm happy to be here tonight. Today we're talking about the Southside Minneapolis Community Safety Center that the city plans to start early next year.
Yes, that's going to be wonderful. So we actually have a special guest that is
Correct.
on the line. And if you want to go ahead and bring her, we can bring her on if you want, or otherwise, let's go ahead and get into just some other information.
Let's get into the other information first. First of all, my name is Zainab Meyer, and I work for the city of Minneapolis. And welcome to Minneapolis 360. You can catch us here on the second and fourth Wednesday of every month. And Minneapolis 360 is designed to just bring you the information and what's going on in the city and the Twin Cities. And today, our topic, like I said, is the new Southside Minneapolis Community Safety Center. But before we get into that, we have a couple news segments, a couple news items of things that are happening around here. The first one being the new African American Heritage Work Group. So the city is recruiting members for a newly formed African American Heritage Work Group. The group will serve as an advisory board to the city council to document and honor African American history, especially African American history in Minneapolis.
Wonderful.
And this is an opportunity to get involved with local government and represent our communities and community interests. There will be about 15 residents that are picked to be on the work group, and they will advise on the city's study and recognition of properties that are important to Black history in the city.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So anyone listening, if you would like to be a part of this, how can they apply?
You can apply on the website, the city website, minneapolismn.gov. If you just look up at Black Heritage, the application is open. The deadline was actually extended to next week, Friday, May 31st. So
Wonderful.
please apply.
Awesome.
Yeah.
What else is happening in the city of Minneapolis?
Lots. Next up, we have the 2024 Renter Rights Resource Fair, which is happening in June 4th. Whether you're new to Minneapolis, a college student, or a lifelong renter, come and join us for the 2024 Renter Rights Resource Fair. This resource fair brings together staff from the Department of Regulatory Services and community organizations to connect with renters and property owners. So if you have questions, comments, concerns, this is the place to bring them and to learn about your renter's rights. So again, when and where? It's Tuesday, June 4th from 10:30 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. in the Minneapolis Public Service Building. We have a Minneapolis Public Service Center and a building, so it gets confusing. So that address is 505 4th Avenue South on the first floor. There will, of course, be a free meal and
Everybody
interpretation.
loves free
Everybody
food.
likes free food. Yes, I don't know who's catering it, but it should be good.
Yes.
And it's hosted by the Department of Regulatory Services.
This is wonderful.
Yeah.
So if you have any questions, any burning questions, anything that you're not sure about as far as your renter rights, I suggest you get there. Again, that's Tuesday, June 4th.
Tuesday, June 4th, 10:30 to 1:30 p.m.
Wonderful.
We'll see you there.
Yes.
And again, May is Mental Health Awareness Month.
Yes.
So we're closing up at the end of May, but earlier this month, you might have noticed Minneapolis landmarks and buildings lighting up in green with solidarity for mental health awareness. But check on yourselves, check on your neighbors, check on your friends and family always.
Yes.
And the suicide and crisis hotline is 988.
Okay.
So if you or somebody you know is struggling or need help, you can call or text that number again, 988. They provide 24/7 free and confidential support for people in distress and prevention and crisis resources for you or your loved ones. If you want to find out more information, again, you can go to the city website, minneapolismn.gov. You can also go to the National Alliance on Mental Illness. They have resources for Minneapolis residents all throughout the month. And you can go to their website at NAMIMN.org for more information.
Yes, I love NAMI.
Yes.
And they are very informative. They have some really great therapists. So definitely, you all, this is important. I see it more and more nowadays, especially with social media. You know, you can see people struggling or just going through it. If you sense something isn't right, like we got to talk about mental health more. We really need to. Yes, because tomorrow, you know, different things trigger, right? Different things can trigger you, and mental health is very important. You have to take care of your mind just like you take care of your body.
Exactly. And last but not least, we're asking volunteers to help paint the asphalt murals. So everyone is invited to help paint 2 murals on the streets in South Minneapolis.
Fun.
Yes. The students at South High School and Folwell Community School worked with artists to design the murals. Those artists are Constanza Caraballo and Marco Aguero. And the murals are being installed in South Folwell's safe route to school along 21st Avenue at 31st and 35th Streets. And all are welcome to come and volunteer and paint. So if you have a knack for being creative and painting, please come and paint the murals.
I love that.
Yeah, there are 2 opportunities to help paint. The first one being next week, Thursday, May 30th from 6 to 7:30 p.m. And that will be on 21st Avenue and 31st Street near South High School.
Wonderful.
The other one is Tuesday, June 4th, again from 6 to 7:30 at 21st Avenue and 35th Street near Folwell Community School. And then again on Friday, June 7th, there will be a celebration in the parking lot at South High School at 5:30 p.m. And you can come learn more about the art murals on the website, City of Minneapolis, and you can search public arts events. There's lots of cool murals everywhere. I don't know who has more murals, South Minneapolis.
You want to go,
Minneapolis.
Should we go and paint the city purple or something? I feel like we need to get involved.
I wish I was creative. I can't draw a sick person to save my life.
That's all right. We'll just watch.
Right,
we'll just watch.
Yes, I'll be there. But yeah, that's it for our news segment.
Wonderful.
We have our speaker, our host, like you said, which is Christina Dowling on the line. And Christina's going to talk to us about the city's plans for a community safety center in South Minneapolis.
Awesome. Welcome, Christina.
Thank you so much for having me on here. I'm super jazzed. Thank you so much.
Oh, we always appreciate you coming on the show.
Perfect.
Hey, Christina. How are you?
Hey, I'm good. Hey, Zainab. Long time no see.
I know. It's a joke. We've been seeing a lot of each other with this project.
Have you?
Yes. I saw her a couple
She can't get away from me.
Yes. We were even working through the thunderstorms last night with one of the community engagements. But it's good to have you on the show. And before we get started, can you tell us a little bit about yourself, what you do, what is your role at the city?
Yeah, sure. Thank you again, KMOJ, for having me on here, and Zainab for being the facilitator.
Of course.
So I started working at the city about 17 years ago. I started out as a paralegal in the city attorney's office, and part of that work had me with regulatory services and working on a program of property owners and businesses who could appeal citations. And then I stayed with regulatory services for a really long time and started focusing on like strategic planning, key performance indicators, metrics, outcomes, and I did that work for a number of years. And then I transitioned to being the homeless and encampment team outreach manager for a short time. So I had a team of 4 who went out in community to engage with unsheltered individuals and connect them to new and existing caseworkers, including storage, shelter, and other services and resources. And so today I actually work for the Office of Community Safety, design and implementation as a senior project manager under Director Amanda Harrington. So I can tell you a little bit about our work. In 2022, Dr. Oftelli with Harvard University, he's a professor and researcher. He did a report and developed it, and it's called the Safe and Thriving Communities Report. And it recommended that the city create a community safety ecosystem in Minneapolis. And this ecosystem is really a collaboration between government and community to create services that focus on prevention, response, and restoration. And so this report really serves as a jumping point for us as we develop this ecosystem and as we look at developing the community safety centers. And so I know Zainab talked about the South Minneapolis Community Safety Center, and so that is one major one that we're working on that is going to launch early next year. We're also working on the Lake Street Safety Community Center, which is a temporary site, and it's going to open up later this year.
Wonderful.
Thank you. And you mentioned that you currently working at the Office of Community Safety. Can you tell us a little bit more about what the Office of Community Safety is and what you all do?
Yeah, of course. Thanks for that question. So the Office of Community Safety is relatively new under the new city government structure. So it was established in fall of 2022, and right now the commissioner is Todrick Barnett, and he coordinates all of the work of the 5 safety departments, which includes police, 911, emergency management, the fire department, and neighborhood safety. And so as an office, we do have mission, vision, and value. And our mission is for Minneapolis. It's Minneapolis Office of Community Safety is to provide, coordinate comprehensive and equitable safety systems to all residents and visitors. Our vision really focuses on having a city where all people feel safe, social disparities are eliminated, and all residents can access opportunities and resources. And then our values really focus on accountability, equity, inclusion, belonging, community engagement, collaboration, and innovation. And finally, I'll say one quick thing. We also have defined what community safety is, which I know people think of it as public safety, but it actually is different. Public safety really focuses on, government intervening, stepping in, might involve safety from gun violence, but community safety really focuses on community members and local government. And it's a space where all people in Minneapolis get to be and feel safe. And so this includes feeling safe from violence and the root causes of violence. So this could be looking at safety systems like PTSD, poverty, things along those lines, not just violence exclusively.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah. Thank you for distinguishing between community safety and public safety. I know that's something that a lot of people, we sometimes use interchangeably, but it's a little bit different.
Right. I definitely wouldn't have thought that it was two different things.
No. And like you said, Christina, I've mentioned the Community Safety Center a couple times now. Can you tell us exactly what the Community Safety Center is and what your goals are for this new center?
Yeah, perfect. So the Community Safety Center is a center that is going to focus on services related to prevention, response, and restoration. So these are the 3 things that Dr. Oftelli put out in his report. And so what I can tell you is that a safety center is a physical location that's accessible to the public. It's a collaboration between government and community-based organizations where people of Minneapolis can come together in an effort to break down barriers. And what it's not is a city hall, because we already have those. We already have police stations. It's not a substation, and it's not a recreation center. So we're not here to reestablish and rebuild what already exists. We're here to really reinvent and start fresh. And we're really looking for community voices in terms of what are those services and resources that are needed in both of these safety centers.
So can people just walk in anytime, Christina, and ask you guys questions, or is this something where you have to schedule an appointment?
Yeah, that's a great question. So we hope that people will walk in and ask us all these questions. We're going to have them staffed with 311 agents who should be able to answer who will be able to answer any and all questions for people entering the building. And then appointments, I think it just depends what social services and resources we have on site.
Okay.
So we're still doing community engagement now, so we haven't fully defined what those services are because we as a city aren't going to select that. We really are relying on the community to tell us. So we don't know if mental health services are going to be here, and if mental health services mean you schedule an appointment and come to the facility to get it, or if people go out into the community and meet people where they're at for those services. So we're still working out those logistics.
Okay, wonderful.
And I love that you brought up the 311 services. When I'm talking to people, a lot of times I get, so I walk into the center to get resources, but I'm met with the police, the first thing I see. So can you talk a little bit more about the 311 services and people who are going to greet you when you walk in? And you said it's not a police station, a standalone police station. So it wouldn't have the vibe of a police station, correct?
Correct. So while the police are going to be there, they're not going to be the first point of contact as you enter the building. Well, they may have their own entrance because there are people that are going to come to the center to utilize police services only. We're still working on the build out and the design, but our vision as a city is you walk in, you're greeted by 311 service representatives who can help you answer any questions, guide you to the person that you need to talk to or the resource that you need. And that might include the police. It might not include the police. It could just be, hey, I need a space that I want to have a quiet resting space. Is that room available? Or I have a community meeting. Can you tell me what room I'm supposed to be in?
Wonderful.
Perfect. Thank you. And can you tell us a little bit about why is the city engaging with the community right now? What are the city's goals?
Yeah, thank you for that question. So the city, I do want to start out by saying, like, I do apologize on behalf of the city. I think we have not done necessarily like the greatest job with community engagement. And so we really are trying to start fresh, rebuild, rebrand, and like Director Harrington and I are working really hard on meeting the community where they're at and really capturing their voices, especially as we talk about the South Minneapolis Community Safety Center. So the city really does need the public's help in deciding what services will go into the center. And the city has not made any decisions, as I mentioned, and the community has made many decisions about what safety looks like over the past 4 years. And so Director Harrington and I have really read a robust number of reports where people have talked about what services they would like. And so we're really talking to community about, like, are those services still relevant? Are there things missing? Are there things that we should be looking out for? And then we are looking at new ways of engagement than we have done before. So we have an online survey right now that's open until Friday. So anybody and everybody, please take it. But we've also done walking engagements in South Minneapolis, like on Lake Street and Franklin. We've attended several other events with neighborhood associations like NINA and SINA, as well as Ventura Village. We've also engaged with youth. We've also engaged with the LGBTQIA plus community, the East African community, the Oromo community, and we've been to food shelves as well as the senior living facilities. So we really are out there. Hopefully people have seen us. Hopefully we've talked to you. And so we really just want to get that information. Awesome. And we really are focusing on people who live, work, and visit the Southeast area. But our goal is to prioritize input from people most impacted by the criminal justice and safety system.
Wonderful. So, hey, if you, to my listening audience, if you have not had a chance to get your voice heard, now is the time. Like, they're welcoming you. They are asking you. If you are just now tuning in, we are speaking with Christina Dowling from the Southside Safety Center. And navigating the show today is the beautiful Miss Sana Meyer.
Yes, thank you. Yeah. And you did do, Christina, in your offices have done lots of engagement and packed into a couple of months. And I was there for a lot of it. And we did walk up and down Franklin Avenue in Chicago together. That was really fun. And we got a lot of feedback from folks in community, people we wouldn't have reached otherwise, wouldn't come to these community meetings. So I'm glad you mentioned that. But how else can people weigh in on this safety center if they haven't already?
Yeah, perfect. So I did just do a plug for the survey, so it's going to close at end of day Friday. We also have 2 more events coming up. So we are meeting, we have an event at Roosevelt High School tomorrow, which is just primarily for the youth at Roosevelt High School. So sorry, it's not open to everybody, but we are at NINA and SINA tomorrow, which is the Nokomis East and Southeast Neighborhood Association tomorrow night. And then we will also have an event Friday at the American Indian Center, starting at 11 until 1 o'clock. And then this is the end of this round of engagement. So I know we're approaching the deadline soon, but we really are hoping that we can continue to hear from those voices. We've gotten a lot of great feedback so far, but we want to hear from everybody who can impact the city's decision as we move forward with the safety centers.
Yeah, thank
Wonderful. You know what? Give that plug again on the survey since Friday is the last day. Let's make sure that they get that link.
For sure, yeah. So people can kind of look at it a couple different ways. So if you go to minneapolismn.gov and search community safety centers, you'll be directed to the page, and we have a blurb right on the front page that takes you to the survey. Otherwise, if people may have received a postcard that live in the Southeast metro area, so please respond to that postcard. There's a little QR code on there that will direct you right to the website as well to take that survey. And people may have seen our flyers around town. I know we've had some great partners posting them out and about. There's a QR code on there as well, and it's going to direct you right to the website and connect you right to that survey.
Wonderful.
And the survey, like you mentioned, is in multiple languages. So if you need, and videos provided in multiple languages as well.
Good.
And
yes, thank you, Zainab.
Yeah, of course. And Christina, what have you heard from people so far? What are people asking for to be in the center? What resources are people looking for?
Good question.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah, so Director Harrington and I really looked at previous community engagements. Some of that was initiated by city staff, other by neighborhood groups, and we really themed them out. And so some of those themes included social services, community-led services, relationships. So this came about with police and precincts really rebuilding the relationship with community use. So this included like a community garden, investment in community. People talked about a memorial, having a physical infrastructure, policies workshops, and really addressing trauma healing and accountability. And so much of that feedback that we read really focused on social services. And so we parceled it out into addiction, affordable housing, mental health, economic support, education support, employment support, food security, harm reduction, unsheltered homeless resources, mentoring, and youth. And so these are the social services that we're really asking people for feedback, as well as other building uses and spaces like art, a memorial, space for donations, a resource hub, homework hub, childcare for people using the center, medical services, buyback programs, and like office spaces. And then as Zainab, you mentioned, we did some walking engagements on Lake Street and Franklin. And so some top themes that we heard from people that we engaged with were around having drug and alcohol addiction services, affordable housing, and homeless resources. And then they also wanted to prioritize medical services and a space for community meals. We also did an event at South High School, and so the students there did receive a presentation. We did an interactive activity and had a conversation to really talk about what services and resources should be in the center from their perspective. And so they all voted, and kind of their top services and resources that they wanted to see was really around this affordable housing, this education support, employment support, food security, mental health, and unsheltered homelessness. And so they did chime in and say that they wanted similar services at the Lake Street Community Center site with a focus around homelessness and substance use disorder. So we've heard from many people, but just wanted to highlight a couple of the events that we've been to.
That's awesome.
Perfect. And I'm going to put Glam Life on the spot here and ask her what you would want to see at the center, what you would think would be most important. But while I give you a second to think about it, my favorite suggestion that I heard from community was, and I've heard this multiple times, was unlocked restrooms and showers for our unhoused population.
I love that.
Yes, because they are also residents of our cities.
They
so
are.
that was my favorite.
That is.
suggestion. Yeah.
I love that. I think that's a great idea. And I guess the only, just how would that work though as far as the flow and but if we can figure that out, I think that would be awesome.
Yeah.
So, right now, mental health is really near and dear to my heart. Again, you see so much and, we have a lot, people have a lot on their shoulders. They have a lot to, to deal with right now. And then, there, of course, a lot of trauma in the community, right? So I think, having, and I'm not sure, I know you said you're kind of still, Christina, you guys are still trying to figure this out, but whether it's a therapist or, a team that can really assist and do a great job, because it's not, it's challenging, dealing with, so just knowing, having that, the skill and the expertise to be able to work with people, through it, and then also be that liaison to work with the police or, so that we can make sure that they're getting the proper treatment and not being, treated unfairly.
Yes, I love that. And I love that
I just had to capture that down. Sorry, Zainab. Go ahead.
Oh, good.
We have you working, Christina.
Yeah, good. Yeah, I think I've seen too many instances where, we just don't know how to handle mental health situations, right? And or just even how to communicate, with people as they're going through and how to make them feel comfortable so that they want to get the help that's needed. And so I think by having some specialists or somebody who can really, because there's a lot of it going on. And especially, like you said, even just with the people in the streets, there's a lot, I'm sure that that could be very helpful.
I agree. We have a lot of cultural trauma, historical trauma, generational trauma.
Absolutely.
And just here in Minneapolis, just this next week and the week coming,
Saturday is the memorial of George Floyd. And so, this is now is important, it's crucial, it's critical. So, and we always want to just let people know that, hey, if you notice anyone that, seems to be experiencing, just get more information on it so that you know how to deal with it.
Exactly. Yes. And then Christina, where can people find updates about the Safety Center?
Yeah, thank you for that. I do want to chime in one thing.
Yes, of course.
Say quickly. Thank you for your ideas. Those are great. I was typing it up. I will also say to that point that I've heard people talk about that they might not know what they're experiencing, but know that they don't feel right and that they feel off. And so they really are looking for spaces and places where they can connect with somebody or talk to somebody that can help them through and talk with them about what they're experiencing. Because sometimes we just feel off. We don't know what's going on. And so just having that type of support or advocate on hand would be helpful.
Yes, you hit it right on the nail.
Exactly.
You hit it right on the nail.
Yeah.
Well, good. I've heard that a lot.
Good. Yeah, that's key though, right? Like you said, sometimes you're just like, man, something doesn't seem right.
Wrong.
I know something's wrong, but then you just second guessing yourself. You're like, I don't know. Hey, you don't have to second guess.
Exactly.
There's a center or there will be a center where you can actually, go and if not, talk to somebody. Yeah. Anybody. Yeah. Call the radio station. We'll find you a resource.
Perfect.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, Sana, to answer your question, how to stay connected. Yes, our survey is open till Friday, May 24th. Again, go to www.minneapolismn.gov and search Community Safety Centers. Or if you got the flyer in the mail, just scan that little QR code. Or if you see our flyers out around town, please scan that. We want to hear any and all voices. And just keep checking back at our website. We have a lot of updates coming up. We have reports that we've published based on community feedback, and we'll just keep plugging away.
Yes.
Wonderful.
And you can also email if you had any additional resources or if you had any additional suggestions. You can also email at communitysafety@minneapolismn.gov. I believe. Is that correct, Christina?
Yes, that's correct. Yeah, thank you for that.
Or you can call 612-673-2482. Again, that's 612-673-2482.
And when in doubt, me and Anthony always say, just call 311. They know everything. Yeah, they know everything.
Call 311. Easiest way to get to the city. Yes, yeah. Well, this has been wonderful. Thank you so much, Christina, for joining us today.
Yes, we appreciate what you're doing in the community.
Yeah. Oh, that really warms my heart. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Awesome. Well, go ahead if they need to get in contact with you, or just give them the information one more time for those who are just tuning in that may have caught the end of the show. If they need more information on the Southside Safety Center, give them that contact one more time.
Yes. Please call 612-673-2482, or when in doubt, call 311, or you can email us at communitysafety@minneapolismn.gov. Or just go to the city's website, minneapolismn.gov, and search the word Community Safety Centers. And so we'll have plenty of information on there.
Yeah. Thank you. They've got options.
Yeah. And Christina, did you mention that there was a meeting this week? Or did I assume that?
No. So we have 2 meetings still this week. We have one that is tomorrow night at the South Minneapolis the Lake Nokomis Community Center. Yeah. That's at 6 to 7:30. And then we also have staff that are going to be at the American Indian Center from 11 to 1 o'clock on Friday.
Oh, wonderful. Wonderful. So get your voices heard. If you have some input, if you have any suggestions on how the Safety Center can be more helpful in the community, please join one of those events or reach out to Christina and her team. Thanks again, Christina. We appreciate you.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate you too. Have a great day.
You too.
See you around, Christina.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thanks. Bye.
Oh, Sainab, that was awesome.
Yes, that was 30 minutes. That flew by.
It always does, doesn't it? It seemed like you need almost an hour show just because there's so many different, questions that people may have. And but this is beautiful. I'm glad that you guys are allowing the community to have some say.
Yeah.
So it's important what you all do, and just making sure that you are utilizing platforms like KMOJ to be able to get the word out.
Yes, exactly. Our job is to connect the city to the community and the community to the city.
I love it.
Yeah.
Well, it's a beautiful day today.
It is. I'm going back to the office.
Oh, hopefully, do you have a view?
No, no view. We do have a view of the Stone Arch Bridge, actually. So that is actually a pretty good
So
view.
are you in the same building as
We're,
Anthony?
yep,
Okay,
yep.
yeah, I live just down the
He
street from
has
there.
a nice view from his office. I have a little cubicle off to the side. But
Wow.
yeah,
Awesome. Well, we appreciate you for coming on the
thank
show
you
today.
so
And
much.
yes, we appreciate everything that you're doing in the community as
Yeah.
well.
It's been an honor. I'm glad I didn't pass out.
Oh, you did a phenomenal job. You got this.
Thank you. Thank you.
Any certain song you want to hear before we?
Oh, we've been talking about the Isley Brothers. I really had
Ooh.
Busted in my head all day. since
Okay.
we started that.
You know what? I'm going to
Mhm.
find that for you. We're going to get
Ooh.
that going.
Great. Thank you.
All right, Twin Cities. It's 29 after the 1 o'clock hour. Don't go nowhere. We've got great music on the way.